everybody. We have a lot to do this week. I have been so busy with shows and trying to keep up with all of the products that we are very low on everything. And this week I am going to be making a bunch of soap. We're going to be making lip balms, lotions, just a little bit of everything. And I thought that I would bring you along so that you could kind of see what we got going on and see some of this stuff. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with us being so low on products. Ray's at a show this week. He's got a lot of the product there, and I literally maybe only have about 100 bars of soap here at the soap shop, and maybe 20 or 30 jars of their with sugar scrubs. We don't have very much left, so I'm going to try and get us all restocked on everything this week, and hopefully we are good for the rest of the year after I make this last batch of soap for the week. So but I will show you kind of what we've got left and bring you along and show you kind of the stuff that I'm going to be doing this week so you can see everything. So okay, so here are the shelves of soap. As you can see, there's not very much left on any of these. This is all that we have. This whole batch here, it messed up. As you can see, the lye didn't set up properly with the oils, and this whole batch ended up getting ruined. And that happens sometimes, but we don't waste it. There's nothing wrong with the soap itself. It just doesn't look pretty with all the mistakes in it. Whenever I poured that batch, it accelerated, and I had to quickly get it into the mold and try to save it, but as you can see, it's not the best quality. So if we do sell it like this, it'll be at discounted, but we might just use it ourselves because I really like the scent. It is leather and balsam, which I really like that scent, so we might just keep it all and use it. But I mean, there's a lot there. We got like 48 bars of it, so I don't know, we'll see. And then I got some honeysuckle and berries on here. That one sold out really fast in this fall. And then this is apple whiskey, which all of that is available still. And then I got some facial bars over here, and I've got some shampoo bars. And then, like I said, we got our whipped sugar scrubs. I've got quite a few of these over here. And then I've got some lotion sticks that I need to get labeled. And that's about all that we have left in the soap shop. We still have some Jewelweed and some other soaps like that, but not a whole lot left. I have a crate. I had another batch of soap that we had a big mishap with it also. The lye reacted with this scent. It was a brand new scent I was trying, and we did not have good luck with it. So it's got all these pockets in there, and it's just not a sellable soap at that point. This is kind of a mismatched crate of stuff I tried making some soaps with some sponges in there. So these are my molds right here that I get. I tighten down the ends of these, and it's got this little plastic piece that covers up the wooden bottom on it, and I can flip it and show you what the bottom of it looks like. So it's just a piece of wood, and these plastic sides on it are permanent. They don't come off. They don't come off the bottom of the wood either. And then, like I said, this is just it's like a shelf liner material, but it's really thick. It's not a thin shelf liner material. And then this little plastic slides out on it. But, and then it came with these dividers, which are really nice. It makes where I don't have to have a loaf cutter. The loaves are already sized, and these are 12 by 12 in the inside dimensions. So I get 4 12-inch long molds whenever I make them. So I find that if I need to make smaller batches, which is what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make 6 smaller batches. I put jars in here, and I put another divider in, and so it looks like that. And then you can I'll pour on this side of the mold, and it'll give me 2 loaves, which gives me 24 bars instead of 4 loaves. That gives me 48 bars, and I can make a smaller batch of soap. So whenever I do like specialty scents, or if I'm trying out something new and I don't know how well it's gonna sell, I can do a smaller batch of it, and I'll show you that whenever I start pouring soap, so you can see. I pour 1 batch on this side, and it'll set up enough and it won't run underneath the divider at all. And then from there, I will pour a second batch on this side. But I will explain all of that whenever I start pouring some soap. I'll show you how to do that, and it works out really well. I don't have to have a bunch of long molds, long loaf molds, individual loaf molds. I just have to have these to pour soap in, and I can pour about 200 bars a day whenever I use these molds. So as you can see, I have everything ready to go with my oils and my lye water. I just gotta check the temperature on the lye water and see how much time I have left on it. So which it's at 98 degrees. That's still too warm. I don't like to soak but around 85 to 90 degrees. So I got about 10 more degrees to get that to cool down. But I still got to get a bucket, and I have to get all of the oils and get them ready to go. So it'll give me time to do that. By the time I get that all cooled down, it'll be ready to soak. So sorry about the window. I'm trying not to stand in front of a window so you guys don't get that behind you, but it's been kind of hard there. So, but soon as I get all the oils measured up, I will kind of bring you along, and I'll give you some footage of making a batch of soap and then pouring it. And so over here is a bucket of lye water that I make, and I've got it marked out for each batch, and then I pour it into a measuring cup. Now this is a highly concentrated version of the lye. We do put goat's milk in there, but when I mix the lye, I mix it with water first, and then whenever I make soap, I add the goat's milk, and then I add the lye, so that way I don't have to worry about freezing my goat's milk. It's just a process that I can use the fresh goat's milk at a cold state versus a frozen state whenever we make soap. So today we're going to be making 6 batches of soap. So I've got enough in here for my 6 batches, and then I pour it off for each batch that I make. I've got my molds all set up and ready to go, so we can get that. I have, which I love this thing right here, this 2 Auto. It is amazing. As you see, I put my coconut oil and my palm oil in that and get that all frozen or melted down. And then we've got all the rest of our stuff ready to go. So here I am adding our goat's milk in with the oils. So I take the cold goat's milk from the fridge here. Sorry, I'll zoom out for you. So I take our half-gallon jug of goat's milk I got from the fridge and I measure that out. And then we take that and I dump it into my bucket. So you'll see I have 2 buckets going here. Remember how I told you on my molds how I will take and divide it in half, and I will make 2 different batches of soap and pour them in there. So whenever I measure out my oils, I put my first batch in one bucket, and then I will put another batch into a second bucket, and then that way I got it all measured out and I don't have to do a pour then a measure, and I can make the time go by faster whenever I go to make soap. Now I stirred the goat's milk in on this. I have more oils to add, so we will add, okay, so we are going to pour in our coconut and our palm oil, and this is already mixed together and heated up, and then we will pour that into our room temperature oils and our goat's milk that was cold from the refrigerator. And then I will stick blend all of that together, and then we will add the lye to that. I find that I don't like to add, I don't like to stick blend a bunch because it accelerates the soap and it makes it go by faster, and I can't get swirls and things that I want out of it. So I poured the lye in, and I will just stick blend it until, see how it's swirling, until all of those swirls are kind of gone, because I don't want to overdo it with the stick blender. If it accelerates too much, you cannot go back on it, so you don't want to overdo it at all. So I find that I just do a little bit, I kind of stir it, I see where I'm at. If I need a little bit more, I'll just give it another little bit. And then the next thing that I add is, this is an essential oil blend. So the of soap that I am making is what I call Lemon Burst. And so this is a lemongrass, spearmint, and a grapefruit blend. And I will add that in, and then I will give it a little bit of a stick blend, but I will not over blend this, because once you do that, you cannot go back with it. So you just want to stick blend until you don't see any of that sitting on top there, and it looks all incorporated. And I'm done. I'm not mixing anymore with that. I will mix by hand at this point. So, okay. So, I have my mold all set up here. I've got my soap mixed. I added a little bit of yellow mica to this one, and this one is an evergreen color, and hopefully we get a nice little yellow and green swirl out of it. So as you can see, it's all the way full, and I can take the jars out and kind of show you. There's no seepage coming in on that side, so these will be just fine for pouring another batch over here. And then I've got 2 loaves here, so I just put a divider in, and that'll separate my 2 lugs. At this point, sometimes I either just leave them plain on the top, or you decorate it, whatever works, but this way I can pour more varieties at one time instead of pouring a large amount all at once if I'm just trying a new scent, or if I am running low on several items like I am right now. I can pour smaller batches and I can have more varieties available, and then I can go back and I can pour larger quantities after I get a bunch made up. So